Hi, I'm Mel, and that's Joey. He's my baby. Say hello to everybody. So this is my first YouTube video, and for my first YouTube video, I wanted to talk about something that a lot of women can relate to, and that is our pain being ignored. So, as an active woman, I've experienced lots of pain, and a lot of them stem from many different reasons, but in the past year, I've experienced horrible pain that stops me mid-run, where I have to be on the ground holding my abdomen and just holding back tears and calling someone to pick me up. And I've seen several different doctors. I even actually went to the ER once for it, and they didn't know what was wrong with me. At first they thought it might have been appendicitis, but they ended up just brushing it off as period pain, and just I had to learn how to cope with it, you know, with ibuprofen or heating pads or whatever. And it got to be such a huge issue that it was about 80% of the time I ran, I would have this pain, and it kind of made me feel like I shouldn't run anymore and my body's getting weak. And I actually went to a gynecologist for, like, you know, extra help, and she said she found some cysts in there, and she said, oh, you know what, you know, lots of women have cysts, and sometimes they can be painful, but most of the time they're not painful, and just it'll go away on its own. You don't need any assistance or anything. You'll be fine, basically. And I just told her, but it doesn't make sense because I have so much pain. And she seriously told me that I just need to work on my core more, do some sit-ups, crunches, or whatever, because my core is weak, and that's why my abdomen was having pain. And, you know, as a young woman, I was very timid. I listened to her, honestly. I didn't listen to my body, and I said, well, you're the expert, so okay. And I let the pain continue, and I was like, I'm gonna do sit-ups, and, well, obviously, it didn't help. The pain was still there, and my core is just fine. But what ended up happening a couple months later is they found a tumor in my uterus, and I had surgery to get it removed, and it was fine, it was benign. And she said, and your cysts in your ovary should disappear, so you're all fixed, magic, done. You shouldn't have any more pain. And I didn't have pain for about 4 months, but then, you know, I started bleeding every time I did physical activity again. That was another symptom I had along with the pain. And the pain slowly started creeping back with each run I did. And I went back to her, and she was like, she was almost offended when I told her that, you know, hey, I'm bleeding again, and I have a lot of pain. Maybe something else is wrong. And she was just like, oh, no, I got the entire tumor out. Here. She handed me an x-ray. Here's a picture. And I was like staring at the picture, and I was just like, okay. I mean, I don't know what I'm looking at, but I believe you. I'm just saying that I still have more pain, and something is off again. And she basically was like, well, I'll order you a ultrasound, and it's gonna cost almost $300. And I was just like, I don't have that kind of money, and this is like a gynecologist office. I like shouldn't there be an ultrasound available to women who are paying to see you? Like, it didn't make sense. And, you know, I brushed off all that pain, and I was like, okay, she's right. You know, the cyst will go away on its own, and blah, 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 blah. And it wasn't until recently when I continued to, I've been trying to train again, and I'm having horrible pains again, and I'm bleeding as well. And I watched a video on Facebook where it was a compilation of women just telling their stories of how their, you know, their health is being ignored by their health providers, like being brushed off as period pain and cramps and, you know, the blood you get when you're running, oh, that's just spotting, and it's all bullshit. It's all bullshit. Like, now, because I listened to my healthcare provider for an entire year, now what was actually happened is that my fallopian tube was actually tangled. It is tangled, and each time I ran, it would yank in all these different directions and just cause excruciating pain and making me, it hurts so bad. And now, because I listened to them for an entire year, I have to have my fallopian tubes and ovaries removed. Like, that's just like so stupid, because I feel like this whole thing could have been prevented if, you know, our healthcare providers actually listen to women about their pain, because it is real. Our pain is real, and if you're a woman out there and you're feeling some kind of pain, your body's telling you something's wrong. Listen to your body. Something is wrong. If your gynecologist tells you to do more sit-ups, delete her. Go to the next person. If you go to the ER and they're just like, well, it's period pain, cross them out. Go somewhere else. Just find someone who will believe you and do the tests you need done until they find out what's wrong with you. Because having pain ignored is, I'm an example. I'm going to go into surgery to have like my lady parts removed, and I feel like that could have been prevented if society took women more serious, because everyone is like, oh, she's upset, she's cranky, she's in pain, she's in a bad mood, period pain, period pain, everything. And that's not true. And, you know, it makes me so upset that even women gynecologists turn to period pain as the quickest, that's what's wrong with you, quickest solution, that's what's wrong with you. And it's literally the worst thing that they can do to a woman, because a woman knows her body. And I feel like as a woman of color, you know, maybe they take me less seriously than, you know, a white woman, but I know for sure that all women have had this experience where their pain is ignored by, you know, a professional, and we just say, okay, sure, I'll take your word for it, and something even worse happens to us. And, you know, I just wanted to talk about it, kind of vent a little bit, because, you know, the surgery I have coming up hasn't really sank yet, but, you know, for my first video, it is advice to all women to not ignore your pain. Do not ignore your pain. Just, if you're having irregular pain, something's wrong, seek help. Honestly, find someone who will help you until, you know, you're feeling better, because that's the only way to ensure that your health is good and you're safe, because you shouldn't be ignoring any kind of pain that you're feeling. You know, not everything's period pain. Some women don't even have periods. So it's just stupid to say every pain a woman's feeling is because of her period, when not even all women experience periods. And, you know, because of the surgery, I won't be able to train as much, even though I did sign up for a couple races. But, you know, the races I did sign up for will motivate me after I'm healed to just go out there, walk if I can. And that's another thing. If you're hurt and you're in pain and you still want to run but you can't, walking is just as fine as well. There's nothing can stop you from going out there. Listen to your body. If you're in pain, stop. If you're in pain and you can't run for a while, just walk, or just sit at home and heal. That's the most important thing for you right now. And I'm just glad that I finally know what's wrong now, because I can, a couple months from now, I'll finally be able to train in peace. You know, no more being on the ground and having people stare at me like, who's that psycho lady? What is she doing on the ground? But, you know, my running will be delayed a couple months, but that's okay. I'm just really grateful that I know what's wrong with me. And like I said, make sure you take care of your health. I'll probably be just putting out more videos while I'm healing, because I have so much to discuss. You know, I love running, and I have a list of topics that I already want to discuss and share with the world. Even if one person just watches, that'll be fine with me, because I'll just be at home. So thank you so much for watching, and make sure to stay on top of your health, and I'll see y'all for another video.